Mic check 1, 2. Want to make sure I'm on. Make sure y'all can hear me. Give me 1 second. One second. Good. There we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in, man. Back for another episode of One on One. I'm Rick. I'm here today. Got two very good guests that are coming in today. We got Coach Tyler. Oh, what's going on? Hold on 1 second, everybody. I think my camera just went out for second. Good. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Hold on, everybody. Give me 1 second. Apologize for that. That's not good. Hold on, guys. All right, there we go. I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. I had a little technical difficulties. Wanted to make sure I came on. We are now live. All right, here we go, man. Great show tonight. Like I was saying, we're going to have two great guests on tonight. If you can, go ahead and share it out. I know it's a tough night. I know it's a tough night because of elections. People are out voting. Rock the vote. Get your vote in, man. Don't matter who you vote for. Get out there and vote. Just wanted to talk about that a little bit, man. Politics getting crazy. I stay away from politics. I don't like talking politics. I think it kind of ruins relationships and friendships and everything else. So I kind of stay away from it. Y'all give me a thumbs up. Let me know if y'all can hear me good enough. Want to make sure y'all can hear me. But yeah, I kind of stay away from that. And one thing that I did notice, I find humor in things, right? So I go in the voting booth, right? And, you know, the paper comes out. And I just start looking at some of the names on the paper. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right. The average person voting, do they really, let me make sure y'all can hear me. I ain't get a thumbs up quick enough. Hold on. Hold on one second. Sheesh, what's going on with this? All right, there we go. So the average person that's voting, man, like when you go in and vote, majority of the people that go and vote, I would say probably about 85 to 90% of those people, they only know who's voting and who's running for president. They only know who's running for president, right? They just know, you know, hold on. They only know certain people on that ballot. They do not know everybody on that ballot. So I was looking at the ballot today and I'm sitting there and I'm scratching my head and I'm like, so I know Al Dyer. I know, you know, a couple different people. Lydell that was on there. I knew some people that was on that ballot, right? I'm talking about Camden County where I'm from, but a lot of people get involved in politics, right? And I'm not going to go deep into this, but a lot of people talk politics and they don't know nothing. They don't know who's on the ballot. They only know who's running for president, but there are so many different things that are on that ballot, school board, all types of things, man. So we just got to be mindful of that. We got to kind of get away from the whole, you know, yeah, politics is nasty right now. Politics is nasty. It's going to be a crazy night. Everybody going to be going crazy, trying to get ready for the outcome of whatever happens. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of sketchy to me, but that's neither here nor there. So we're going to go ahead, man. We get ready to get started with the show, but that's where I was. And one thing I want to say, man, for everybody that's I say 35 and up, man, start taking your health seriously. It's a lot of people out here that's checking out that are young. It's a lot of people going through some illnesses and things like that just because they weren't going and getting their daily or their regular checkups. So make sure y'all get out and get y'all regular checkups, man. But we got a good one for y'all tonight, man. Go ahead, share it out, get everybody in here. Like I said, I know some people are still, you know, getting done with practice. Some people are, you know, dealing with the elections and all that stuff. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get tonight's show started with our first guest. Our first guest is the head coach of Oakcrest High School down in Mays Landing. I'll do the whole introduction. He's turned that whole program around, but we're going to go ahead and get everything set up, man, and bring him in. Coach Mike Forrest. What's going on, Coach?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir, man. I like I said, I gave you guys a little bit of flowers last week. I wanted to make sure I jumped in, tapped back in with you. It's been kind of hard, you know, with the season moved fast. I was been supposed to do this. This was supposed to start actually at the battle at the beach, but it was too much going on. But I wanted to definitely make sure that we had you guys on. We've been paying attention to what you guys are doing. Hopefully, with our platform, it can kind of, get out and have more people who may not know what you guys are doing or have been doing. First of all,
Yeah,
congratulations on your season, making the playoffs this year.
thank you.
Congratulations to you, Coach. So,
Appreciate that, man.
so for your season, man, coming into the season, what were some of your season goals, and how do you feel about the way the season went for you guys?
Um, so of course, coming into the season, we definitely was trying to get to the sectional championship game.
Hmm.
Of course, that was one goal. Another goal was to keep the Joe Moore trophy at Oakcrest. That's a game when we play against Absegami,
Okay.
and it was to win the conference, win the division. So we were able to do two of those things. But we lost last Saturday night against Homedale, a good team up the road. Much respect to those guys and what they were able to do. But we just gotta make another run at it next year, man. We just got to get over the hump. It's good to get to the playoffs, but after a while, when you get there consecutively, is you ain't trying to go home. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like you want to come out of there with something. You know what I mean? And this group of kids that we had were the seniors. The seniors were freshmen when I got the job, so they were like, they helped build this program. They are the program. You know what I mean? So we wanted to definitely walk out of there with something special with those guys. But we fell short. The guys were, of course they're hurt, but they do understand that they are pillars of the program, man, and what we've been trying to build over these last couple years.
I mean, and that's one thing that we were looking at. Like, we got our group chat with everybody that works with us, and we have conversations in there. So, one of the things that we did look at was the fact of where you guys started from 4 years ago.
Mm,
Building a program. Sometimes, I'm just looking at you and Coach Tyler, who's going to come on. Like, y'all started with programs that were pretty much forgotten about,
for sure.
and even for you guys to push forward and get to where you are now, that takes a lot of hard work. That takes a lot of commitment and dedication from not only, the coaches, but the players and the parents as well. So how has the
Yeah.
support been, and, what are some key things that you guys were able to do to kind of flip the script with that?
So the support has been great, man. I don't know if a lot of people know, but I'm from Mays Landing. I went to Oakcrest, so
Mm,
I know a lot of the parents. I know a lot of the kids. Like a lot of the kids that just graduated, I was coaching them since they were 5 years old on
mm,
taxi. So the support has been amazing. We have a great administration at Oakcrest. They support me in everything I do. Our previous principal, Mike McGee, our current principal, Mike Manning, our athletic director, Dave Bennett, like those guys they do whatever it takes and get whatever I need, whatever I ask, they try to get that for me. So, I've talked to a lot of coaches around the area, man, and I sit down and I try to get in their minds about the guys that got the rings and all that kind of stuff. And I remember um, one coach told me, he said, "You know what, man? I'll trade what you got." And I'm like, "What you talk about, man?" He's like, "Man, you got a community that backs you."
mm,
I said, "Yeah." He said, "I got a ring, but I don't have the support. Every year it's a struggle. Every year is stressful. Every year, I don't know if I want to do it the next year." He said, "Man, I'll trade it in a heartbeat." And man, the support is everything, man. And just listening to different coaches talk about that kind of stuff, man, to know that, I'm at a high school that supports what I'm doing. I have a strong parent system that backs what I'm doing. They trust me with their children. They
mhm.
trust my staff with their children, and nothing can beat that, man. It's a blessed place to be. I'm definitely in a blessed position for real.
Yeah, you guys have really shaken things up with the way that your approach was. You guys do have a younger staff. You came in,
Mhm.
change everything from the look of the uniforms to the helmets, to all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
did you tap into your playing days with you play receiver, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So I play
Yes, sir.
receiver,
Uh-huh.
quarterback, so but
Uh-huh.
in college it was receiver. Listen, the swag got to be right for
Gotta
receivers.
be. Gotta be, man. Gotta be right. That was
so was
number one. Number
so
one on the list, man.
yeah. So when you came in, like that the priority of that list? How big was that to make sure that you looked right before you even got started?
Number one. It
Okay.
was it was part of my interview. When I interviewed with uh the committee that I interviewed with, and I had my whole plan and a booklet lined up, and it was about a new look and
Mhm.
rebrand the O, man, and we did all of that. Like everything that we said that we were going to do, we did it, man. And I'm so proud of my staff. I'm so proud of my kids and my players, man. We locked in, and I mean, look, we didn't get as far as we wanted to. We didn't win a championship, man, but there's so many small wins that we've been getting over these last couple of years that I refuse to let the community overlook it. I refuse to let our kids overlook it and our staff overlook it, man. We've been doing a heck of a job, and I try to do a good job of reminding everybody like what we're doing. Like we won a conference title this year. The last time that was done was 1986, man.
86. Yeah, we talked about that last year.
I was 5 years old, man, in kindergarten.
Mhm.
So to be able to, do something special like that, man, like, yeah, of course the kids are heartbroken because we didn't win a ring. Everybody wants to win a ring, but I just like to remind them for the small things, man. But yeah, taking it back, man, the uniforms was number one, man. I know that kids like to look good.
Mhm.
Heck, I like to look good. So I make sure I try to deck my coaches out too with as much stuff as I can. And we'll continue to have new uniforms, man. We'll have some new looks for everybody next year. Um, and it's always a something exciting for us because I know people are always looking how we look. Referees say the same thing that you said. Man, every time we see y'all, y'all look different, and that's the
Mhm.
goal. Like, if I can look different every time you see us on film or every time you come to a game, I'm doing my job.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, I took notice the feather, the gray hair. Like I'm into that. Like I'm
That's
a
what's up.
designer at heart. You know what I mean? So a
Yeah.
lot of things I do, it comes with the design. When I look at uniforms and when I look at teams, just the
Mhm.
makeup of the team. And you talked about just a second ago, just overlooking the community, maybe overlooking what you guys are doing. And it
Mhm.
starts with small building blocks. It's
Yes,
the
sir.
same concept of building a team that it is to building out a uniform or coming up with different concepts for plays. If the
Mhm.
foundation of the play, which is the blocking scheme, is not correct, the play is doomed, right?
For
So
sure.
you guys are starting to come in, with those building blocks, getting key wins, keeping the trophy
Mhm.
home against those teams. And I
Mhm.
just look at you guys. You guys are in the area similar to Camden County, where you have some good teams, and then you have some teams that are average, but they're good in their own way. They're
Yeah.
starting to come back up. You got to fight those guys out from the seat. I mean, you coached at Cedar Creek. You got
Mhm.
Absagami, who has a really good coach now. You got Atlantic
Mhm.
City that's making a comeback as well. You guys are fighting that off. Like what challenges
Mhm.
does that bring when you have that many good teams around you with the
Ah,
kids, especially today's kids, right?
yeah.
It's a little
Yeah.
different.
It's a big challenge, man. I would say our main uh target is, of course we got Cedar Creek up the street. We
Mm,
got Apsagami up the street. We got and now ACIT is in our backyard as well. You
mm,
know what I mean? So, those are the focus. And then you got St. Augustine Prep, who's a good program, prestigious program, and then you got Holy Spirit, and St. Joe's as well. Like, so
mm-hmm,
we in the middle of all of that. And to be able to keep the kids home, because if you look at all these rosters, man. There's somebody on all of these rosters from Mays Landing that's doing something amazing on all of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal is to, within these next couple years, with next decade or whatever, however long I am coaching at Oakcrest, like I want to bring in as much as I can. I know I won't be able to get them all, but I want to be able to bring in more that was coming in, and we've been able to do that. And as long as I'm just focused on Mays Landing.
Mm,
To be honest with you, man, Mays Landing has so much talent. If we could just keep Mays Landing home, we good.
right.
We'll be good, and we'll be able to compete, man. I'm not gonna say we're gonna beat everybody, like you mentioned, like the Atlantic cities. I mean, I love playing Coach Wright. I love playing Coach Wright, man. That's my guy. And
Mm-hmm.
anytime I get an opportunity to play AC, we definitely will. We had two great battles over the last 2 years, man. It's been great playing AC, man. I love playing those guys, and I love the competitiveness around this area.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's starting to pick up again, where everybody's is pretty much a good football team. So you don't know what you're going to get in this area. Pleasantville as well. Pleasantville's been is on the uprise with what Coach Timberlake is doing over there. So we definitely surrounded with a whole bunch of talent.
Y'all definitely are. I mean, I look at guys that you have on your team like Donovan. I came across Donovan when he was a little bit younger. So I've been
Hmm.
watching him for a very long time. You know, just talk about some of the other guys that you have on your team that have made an impact, and maybe some guys who, you know, are currently in that area where they're projected to take that next step next year.
Yeah, for sure. We got some pretty amazing juniors coming back next year. We, of course, we got, everybody pretty much knows about Donovan. He's been
Hmm.
pretty much making a name for himself over these next 2 years, or these last 2 years, man, being one of the top tacklers in the state over the last
Hmm.
2 years, being consecutive with that. Um, a guy that really stepped up, Ryan Staten. Um, he was number 5 on our team this year. He's going to be a senior coming up this year, playing safety and receiver, just
Hmm.
being somebody who just started believing in himself. You know what I mean? It's nothing
Right.
like seeing the kid from a sophomore, because we didn't have him as a freshman, but he came in as a sophomore, and just seeing the way his body language was and the way he responded to different things, and then seeing him now just embody everything that we teach. It's nothing better than that, man. You it, you can't top that type of stuff. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But we got him. We got Jaden Harvey. My nephew was he's balling, man. He's out of control. Six
Hmm.
three. Close to 200 pounds, and really understanding his body and believing that he can play at a high level. It's great, man. We got Lakai Katapo, who's probably our only returning starter on the offensive line and defensive line next year. He's going to be a problem. Jalil Williams,
Hmm.
who played defensive line and linebacker for us. He's going to be a great returner. Um, I mean, I hate when I hate missing guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
Yeah,
intentional. You know, I'm asking you on the fly,
yeah,
so
yeah,
nobody
yeah,
listen. Please don't. You know what I mean? Don't send
yeah.
coach a text message like you forgot me. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
As soon as I walk in the hallway tomorrow, they gonna get on me, man. Yo, you couldn't remember me. We got.
Yeah.
I know Dwayne Jackson was a transfer from Droves. He's going to be great for us this year. He got a little banged up towards the end of the year, right when he was
Hmm.
catching stride. So I'm excited to see him at 100% next year. And then our senior class was pretty crazy this year, man. We graduated about 13 of them.
Hmm.
Just guys that just laid it all down for us, man. Um, I can list all of those guys before we go if I got time. I definitely don't want to miss all of those guys, but it just brings tears to my eyes, man. The stuff that we've been through and what we built, going from 3-7 my first year, to having a winning record every year since then, has been a
Hmm.
great accomplishment.
Right. And you speak of that your record. Um
Mhm.
how instrumental has your staff been? I know you got guys
Mhm.
that I coached. I feel that made me feel
Yeah,
old when I walk on the field and I see Danny and I see Tariq out there, and then at one
yeah.
point I believe you had Ant Townsend. Like those are guys that I
Mhm.
coached when I was
Yep.
a lot younger. But to see them there, but
Yeah,
it's amazing to me. But for you guys, how instrumental has the coaching staff been, to the success of
yeah.
your program?
My coaching staff is everything, to be honest with you, man. I knew coming into this job that, I'm not that X and O guru guy that's gonna go out and out scheme all these teams. I do know one thing that I'm a culture builder.
Hmm.
I'm a leader. I can build relationships. I know what it takes to lead a team and to get a group of guys to rally behind me and that's move forward. But I also knew when I got the job, I said I need to surround myself with guys that are smarter than me, with guys that understand different things defensively, offensively. So I made sure I surrounded myself with great people, and those people were younger than me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an ego tripper.
Hmm.
I don't over micromanage my guys. I hire them to do a job and I let them do it. And if there's some things that I would like to see, I'll tell them.
Right.
I had no problem telling Danny I want to take some more shots. We need
Hmm.
to throw a couple bombs. You know what I mean? And he would do it. And a couple times, I hold myself accountable as well. So if I make him come out of his scheme and it doesn't work, I owe him 30 push-ups in front of the
Hmm.
team just to show accountability. And to my guy Keith Austin on the defensive side has been holding it down for years. Oakcrest has been known for their defense
Hmm.
since I got here. You know what I'm saying? So I owe him a lot, man, just for coming in. He was young, and he said, "Yo, I can do this. I can get this thing rocking." And he definitely did that. Everything he said he was going to do, he did that. And Danny took over the offense the last 2 years, and this year our offense has been the best that Oakcrest has seen in some time. He doubled the amount of points that we put up last year. So
Hmm.
it's been great, man. My staff is everything, man. You mentioned Reek. I'm a receiver guy.
Hmm.
So Coach Reek is coaching uh, the receivers, and as a receiver guy, for me to be able to just give that up to somebody is
Right.
definitely somebody that I gotta trust and somebody that's willing to learn some things from me as well. Because as a head coach, I don't know how head coaches are DCs and OCs, and it's so much, man. It's so much. I've been blessed with I did special teams this year, but I still had help from guys. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's a lot, man, and it can wear you down. And my staff is everything, man, from the DC, OC, all the way down to my guys who help us out with the JV guys. Like my staff is everything, and I make sure that I let them know that all the time.
Yeah, a couple key things you just spoke about accountability, the accountability. If you
Hmm.
make a mistake, or you do something out of character, that you take accountability for it.
Hmm.
That's probably one of the biggest things that I think the young kids see. They, they're teenagers. They think they
Hmm.
know everything. So so when they see somebody vulnerable similar to them in certain moments, I think
Yeah,
that's very huge
yeah,
for a program. So I
for sure.
mean, this season, man, tough loss to Homedale.
Hmm.
You guys played them very you guys played them tough. We were kind of like looking at certain clips. Um,
Hmm.
you know, m- Now that the season has come to an end,
Yeah.
have you like what's your process? What's you going to detox for a week or two? You going to take a little bit, vacation, get back into like what's the process
Yeah.
for you guys moving forward?
Man, it takes a while for me to stop thinking about football. I try to This year I did something different. I kind of did everything in one day as far as, just I met with the kids. We had a meeting we handed everything in. We cleaned the locker rooms out, and we had like our farewell meeting. And then I also met with the the returning juniors, who I feel is going to be, big parts of our team. I had a meeting with them, explaining to them how important they're going to be to the team next year and what we expect. I kind of did all that in one day. I did that yesterday actually, and it went well. Last year I drug it out a little bit. I probably waited a little too long. You know what I mean? I still want to get all the kids together when they're still kind of locked in. I kind of talked about the game a little bit. A lot of kids don't want to hear about all that kind of stuff now. They kind of know that it's time to move on, but
Right.
just to remind them of some of the things where we fell short. You know what I'm saying? And then, once I get that part done, I'm going to have me and the coaching staff is going to have a dinner over the next week or two, just to just chill, man, just
Yeah.
eat. Like, I don't want to get too deep. I just want to just kick it with my guys, kick some stuff around, what we plan on doing next year. What's your thoughts? And then after that, man, I'm just excited to just hang with my wife more. A lot of my
that's the
time
that's the
is
one.
that's the one, man. I just want to sit down with my wife and just watch our shows
Hmm.
every night, man. Just being able to, I mean, of course, the weight room is going to kick back up soon, but it's good to just, take a step back for a minute, man. I get to spend more time with my kids, even though they play for me. My
Hmm.
one son, it's his senior year, and he's getting ready to go to college. But my youngest son is coming in
Yeah.
next year, so but it's good sometimes to get away from football and just be dad, and just father my kids and just enjoy them. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I'm doing my best to get away from it, but it's hard, man. It's hard not to think about football. Like, what could we have done? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's hard to keep yourself out of the hole, like that wormhole. I don't want to go down it,
Hmm.
but you go down it like, man, we could have did this. Oh man, what if I would have did
Yeah.
this? And I try to get out of that and just, take the goodness of everything that we had the opportunity to do and start thinking about the future. And I'm just excited about the young guys, man, that are excited about being Oakcrest Falcons from the youth leagues, and you know people that's talking about transferring already. I'm just like,
Yeah, you
hey,
guys
man.
you guys definitely have a buzz going, and it's a lot of people
Yeah.
that watch what you're doing from afar,
Hmm.
and they respect it.
Yeah, that's
And one
great,
thing
man.
you just you brought up having a son, going to college and get ready to play.
Yeah.
Like, as a
Phew.
dad who has a son in college, this is his senior year. Um,
Mm,
wasn't able to play because of a medical issue, but
mm.
it's one of those, man. You have to enjoy it. You got to detach.
Yeah.
I don't know how y'all do. You do it coaching and watching your
Yeah.
son play in college, because
Yeah.
it's tough for me, man. I get anxiety at the game. I'm
Yeah.
walking. It's
Mhm.
just it's one of those.
Mhm.
It's not a fear thing. It's just it's almost it's like almost like an out of body experience, especially with him, seeing him at college, knowing that I played college, like seeing
Yeah.
mannerisms, like certain things that kind of
Mhm.
takes you back to that time, and it's very enjoyable. But
Yeah.
I've watched your youngest play in the youth ranks. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. So you know
Yeah.
you
We're
got
excited,
hey.
man.
Yeah, you guys
Yes,
definitely
sir.
have, a bright future. So is there anything
Yeah.
that you want to say to everybody? I'm not going to keep you long. Is there any message that you want to send to any of the fans that are watching, or any of
Uh,
the Falcon community?
well, to the Falcon community, I'm just very grateful and thankful to you all. I was walking with open arms since I received the job. I'm thankful that my staff and I and the players that we've been developing over these last couple of years have been able to put a product on the field that made Mays Landon happy again. That we can compete. But we're not getting complacent. We definitely want to turn that corner. We want to get over that hump and compete in a sectional title and hopefully one day a state title. To all the people, like you said, to all the people who have been taking notice of what we've been doing, That's all I wanted, man. I just wanted people to recognize Oakcrest again, and it hits me different because I'm from Oakcrest, man. I walked those hallways, I played on that field. So to see people talking about Oakcrest, if it's hate or love, whatever it is, the recognition is there. So
Hmm.
I know that we're doing our job, no matter if you're talking bad about us or you're talking good about us. We're doing our job if we happen to be in your speech. So it's a blessing to be on people's minds, and we're just grateful and excited, man. I got a young, excited staff, man, and it's crazy that I'm the old head on the staff, man, and I'm young, and it's crazy, but I need their energy, man, because um, it takes everybody. It takes everybody to do it. Yeah, I'm the head coach, but look, man, I couldn't do it
Hmm.
without the guys that I got behind me, man, and they're all bought in, and we can't wait to get started again. To be honest, just the type of when you got great kids, man, you just want to get started right now. Like if I can start right now, I'm ready. Like we can
Yeah.
get it going right now, but it ain't how it works. We got to sit on the couch just like everybody else and watch everybody else get their opportunity to compete, man. So good luck to everybody that's still competing, especially in Group Three in this Atlantic County area. It's a lot of teams still competing. So good luck to all of them, man. Cedar Creek representing Greater Egg Harbor. Um, you know, it's just a great thing to sit back and watch, and hopefully we'll get our opportunity to move forward next year.
Yes, sir. Coach, I appreciate you for giving us a little bit of time, a little insight into the program. Congratulations on a good season that you guys definitely had. Definitely, continuing to bring people to see everything that you guys are doing down there. Good luck in the future. Anything you need from us, man, just let us know. We always here. We like to work with people and, help out as much as we can. But I definitely appreciate you for
I
coming on
appreciate you,
tonight.
man.
Yes,
Keep
sir.
doing what you're doing, man, with all the D2 stuff that you're doing, the flag football stuff, the 7-on-7, everything that you're doing, man. Somebody like me, I appreciate it, man. Like you try to get the underdog some love, and you show the same type of love to everybody. So I appreciate that, man. And like you say, you've been watching, we've been watching. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I've been watching how you've been moving and what you do, and I always, every time I see you, it's always love,
yeah,
and it will always be that way. So I
I appreciate.
appreciate you as well, my bro.
Yes, sir. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your
You
night,
too,
bro.
my man.
All
Have a good
right.
one.
Yes, sir. That was Coach Farson, man. Listen, I just want to say this real quick as we prepare to bring on our second guest. I really enjoy what we do in South Jersey and just hearing that, he sees what we're doing is that's huge for us because when we started this, we wanted to make our mark and know to be known for getting out there and showing love to the smaller programs. That was one of the reasons why we started this. The whole D2, what it stands for is dominate to destroy, right? That was a mindset set on from when my son had childhood leukemia. So that was the mindset that we had to have to like overcome that. So we're always going to show the underdogs love. A lot of publications, I feel, they target the ones that are the big dogs because for them, it's monetary. It's a number behind that. They have to reach a certain mass of people. I just think that's at times that's the easy, cheap way out. Um, and we just want to make sure we spread the love, man. You'll see guys on this program and in articles and games that we go do from Group One schools all the way up. So we just wanted to make that known. That's why tonight's important, and our next guest is why we do what we do, right? So we get ready. Without further ado, let me make some little bit of changes. Shoot, got to make a change. All right, there we go. Without further ado, we're going to bring on Coach Tyler Drob. Am I saying the name right? Drob?
Yes, sir. You got it, Rob. You
All
got me?
right. I always ask myself like before I say it, am I saying it right? But what's
Yeah, you
going
got
on,
it. Good
Coach?
job.
How you
Yo, what's
feeling?
up? Good, man. Yeah, yeah. And last name, I mean, everyone just calls me Drob like forever. Just I
Hmm.
feel like it's one of those. It's different, but it just kind of sticks.
Yeah, Coach.
Hmm.
I'm gonna just say this, man. What you guys have been doing over, I'll say, the last couple years. eh, Again, it's a program that we're kind of taking notice of. Um, I'm gonna just say it. Listen, this show is for everybody to be relaxed. We like it's kind of like barbershop talk, but we
Yeah.
having that interview.
Uh-huh.
Cherry Hill East was in the basement. What you guys have done brick by brick, you know, you guys have been very methodical and your approach on rebuilding this program.
Hmm.
So my first question was, what were some of the steps that you guys took to get to this point? Because it's not overnight like people may think.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think I first I have to go back to Coach Andrew Daly, right? Andrew Daly at Gateway now.
Hmm.
I was in college playing at Westchester, and I'm an alum of Cherry Hill East, for those who don't know. And I just kind of saw his energy when he took over the program. With a program that I think lost 30 straight games.
Hmm.
He brought that energy and believed in the program to get those numbers back up. Um, so, I always had a dream of coaching in college, but I just, it, he, reached out to me. We had a connection. I jumped on board. So, it helped him kind of build it up for a couple of years. And then luckily our athletic director and our school district believed in me to take over 2022. And kind of at that point, we had won a couple games each year. But I know I'm gonna tell you we weren't very good. At that point, we were getting there, but we had a lot of work to do. So
Hmm.
I think it was a long journey, long process, and the last 2 years we had some tough losses. Definitely. So my first year we were 6-4, and then last year we were 5-5. But I think last year really the tough losses got us where we're at right now, and you know, kind of set the groundwork for the season. We took some tough ones for those who don't know, but double overtime, the Cherry Hill West, our rival. Some other ones, Triton we lost really last play of the game. So we had some tough losses last year, and it just showed us, how close we were, but also how far we were, like how much work we had to put in to get where we wanted to be. So and it's been a long journey.
Yeah, and one thing I know about Cherry Hill, that Cherry Hill has always had some good football being played. My son actually played for the Cherry Hill Knights. So
Yeah.
I kind of know how the inner workings work with some of the coaches and just that community. It's a football community. People may not know it. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
So the community aspect, like part of the rebuild is rallying the community around the program. Enticing kids to stay home, not go to the private schools like your Paul Sixes and your Camden Catholics. Like
Yeah.
like I just talked with Coach Forrest. It's programs around you guys that are successful.
Mm-hmm.
So just talk about a little bit things that you guys may don't give up your secrets to keep them, but some of the things that you guys are doing to kind of keep the kids home.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things, just going out and supporting them. But our senior class right now, I can remember watching, a lot of them guys play,
Hmm.
um, and I actually said to them after we had beaten West a few weeks ago, I said, "No, thank you for you guys and believing in us, and coming to Cherry Hill East when you really didn't have a reason to,
Hmm.
because they really didn't have a reason." But I remember watching these guys play. Some of um, our captains right now, watching them run around, score touchdowns with the Knights, like you're talking about, Cherry Hill Knights, eighth grade. So just it's a lot of talent, a lot of teams around, like you said, that can pull from the Cherry Hill
Hmm.
Knights. But as long as we can keep kids on the east side of Cherry Hill home, there's enough talent, there's enough kids in our town. I know I was kind of listening to Coach Forrest, who was saying if you keep everyone in Mays Landing, so that's kind of what we feel. And if we can keep the kids on the east side coming to east, then we feel like there's enough kids that love football and there's enough talent for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You guys, had a game last week and wind up winning that one. One of the guys that's been a staple in a program and who's, entering a area where he's going to be talked about for a very, very long time is Denzel Lee. He's I believe, close to 1,500 rushing yards,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
is absolutely amazing. Um, just talk about a little bit what he brings to your program and your team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the first things I always think about with him, and also Isaiah Donaldson is a very good player for us. They bring energy and they bring confidence, and that's something, as a rebuilding, as a team that was rebuilding. I think that's something that goes a long way because you always know he's got confidence, he has belief, he has a great work ethic that just feeds to everybody else in the program. Um, but he actually transferred his freshman year. He moved from up in Trenton area, like the West Windsor area, right in like the beginning of the school year. And a couple weeks into the year, we had him on the JV team. So he had that talent, and then he has the work ethic to go with it. So he's been tremendous. I mean, last week he had the smarts to. We had got a fourth down goal line stop with 2 minutes left, and he had the smarts. He broke a run and stayed in bounds, got down, and we were able to kneel the ball out. Little things like that. We didn't have. I didn't even have to tell him that, and I really should have. But he has the smarts. He's a winner, and he just consistently wants to get better and get hungry. I know he does want our school title, that single season one. He was close last year. He's about he's getting close to it now, but I know that's something that he continues to work for.
Yeah, he's a really good player, but we talk about the running backs and some of the skill guys as well as Donaldson. He's really good too. Um, but I'm watching the Eagles game and I see how they're just opening up lanes, right? So when Saquon Barkley gets on the second level, it's magic, right? Everything after that. So your offensive line has been doing a tremendous job because they're able to get that push and give him those creases. I can remember watching, East play, and the line was kind of like they had a guy or two like that you're watching, like, oh, he's pretty
Yeah.
good, but it's kind of things are a little on a weaker side. Right now, that's your strength of your team. Um,
Mm-hmm.
where do you pull that from? Does that start in the weight room, like that mentality? Like
Yeah.
how do you get to that point?
Yeah, I mean, I think weight room's number one. I think that's all of our linemen are in at least our starters, O line, D line are all 1,000-pound club guys, and they're dedicated in there, and it's definitely paying off. We're a really strong group. I will say I take pride in that definitely because I was an O lineman and I still coach the O line every day. So
Hmm.
I call the offense, but I call the O line. I know, all right, call the offense, but coach the O line, which I know isn't that common. So that
Hmm.
also goes back to having trust in the rest of my coaches, in the past game and working with them doing practice while I'm working with the O line and Indy. So,
Hmm.
I push them dudes hard, and they're a strong group, really across the board. We have guys that we have even a sixth lineman that we might throw in the game that we feel like would start at other schools. So we really have a strong group. And on your point, I actually sent some clips to another coach in South Jersey that I'm good friends with this week, and you know, long touchdown runs. He's like, man, I'm just looking at the O line, like they're dominating, and they're them holes they're big holes. And I said that to our guys in film the other day, like all 11, you take credit for these yards, these touchdowns,
Hmm.
because it's a group effort.
Yeah, and that's
Mm-hmm.
something like when I'm watching film, we get a little bit of film here and there. Some things we're able to jump on huddle and kind of look at. That's the first thing I look at when I come to a game. I'm looking at that offensive line and the defensive line. I want to see who's getting a push, certain things like that, because I kind of feel like with a lot of team, it kind of evens out with the skill guys. Like they're the glory guys, but they aren't the guys in there, the big nasties, the guys. Listen, I used to tell my guys, listen, we don't wear shirts. Our linemen don't. I'm a receiver, quarterback at heart, but I don't like the long t-shirts for linemen. Listen, let it hang
Mm-hmm.
out, just dominate.
Mm-hmm. It's a
That's that
mindset, and you
toughness.
got
Yeah.
you got a different type of mindset where you don't, you're the tone setter for the team, and I think that's what they've had. they've done this whole season. I mean, they've been able to set the tone week in, week out
Yeah.
on both sides.
So you spoke about your coaching staff. You know, the support from them. You know, it's when you're coaching, your coaching staff is almost an extension of your family. You know, it's like you're spending more time with them than you do your wife and kids at times. So that dynamic with your coaches and their support, how has that been? And who are some of the key coaches that kind of help you instill some of that toughness into your team?
Yeah, I will say I think we have an awesome staff, and I think we're super close, and I think that's a huge part of it. All guys are on staff. At least since I've been there, one guy took a year off. He had a birth of his daughter, and he came back this year. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody has at least been on staff with me through these years. So the fact that they came back again, they believed in me and believed in the kids, and we wanted to make better from last year, and they believe in the kids, and the kids see that every day. But staff-wise, Dom Cesari, our defensive coordinator, has done a tremendous job. He was the head coach of Riverside for a few years before he got a teaching job at East and decided to step down and be our defensive coordinator. But he's done a tremendous job. And just have another guy who's had head coach experience, because like a lot of these head coaches you've had on, a lot of us are younger, so it's good to have another guy with head coach experience
Mm-hmm.
that could lean on and then ask questions to and get his advice all the time. Ant Townsend is on our staff. The last 2 years, he's done an awesome job with our linebackers, and
Oh, you got Ant over there? Okay.
yeah, Ant's doing an awesome job for us, man. He's been great. Marcus Holman is also our track coach of the school, which always goes hand in hand. He's
Mm-hmm.
our wideout coach. Um, I don't want to miss all the guys or miss any of them, but they're all doing a tremendous job, man. We got a young staff too. We got 4 or 5 guys that are younger than me, so and we got some guys with a lot of experience. Our special teams coordinator, I'd be remiss to not mention him. He's our QB coach, Coach Byer. He's been coaching longer than probably I've been alive. So it's good to have a guy on staff who's seen it all, and another guy who's believed in this team since day one. And so I've been coaching forever, and this team's got the talent and the work ethic, and you hear it from a guy who's seen it, and the kids respect that.
Yeah. We got some of the questions that are coming in. I'm gonna put this one up on the screen. Congratulations, Coach. I watched that game against West Defford. We had it on when we were calling our game. Listen, you talking about a magical run. that was a game and a half that you guys just had. Yeah, congratulations, Coach. But he's just asking about the magic of the defense only letting up 10 or so touchdowns. Like, what goes behind that?
I mean, I want to say start with our D coordinator, Dom Cesari, but just tremendous game plans week in and week out. I think any great defense, though, you got to have the D line. I think that's a part of it. No matter what the scheme is, no matter what that is, man, the D line's been tremendous. We have 7 guys we consistently play. Our 8th guy, I think, would play at a lot of schools as well. But we have 7 that we play consistently, rotate. And some of those O linemen as well. But I mean, I could name all of them, but they're some great players. So it starts up front with those guys. They really set the tone, right? If they can stop the run and they can rush the pass, then it makes everybody's job easier. I think it starts there, and then I think just the way they practice, physical and consistent in practice. Any coach will say it. I mean, if you don't have to get their energy up, and they bring the energy and they compete, it makes our job a lot easier. We can worry about technique and scheme and all that if they're going to bring the energy and they're going to fly around and play tough every day at practice.
Yes, sir. You guys get the win. You're advancing the playoffs, and you're set up to play somebody that you've seen before. In the summertime, the text messages are coming in. Cherry Hill East and Washington Township are going at it. They having a good battle. Like, seeing somebody that you guys have already seen before, even if it's in and not in a true game situation. This week, you guys may be considered the underdog, right? So what's the message for your team coming into this week's game? I mean, you guys I mean, you can almost say you've been an underdog every game this season if if you really, go back to the way that years and years have been. But
Right.
what's the message for the guys this week coming into the game?
Um, I think debate for us, we continue to focus on like that under. I mean, you could say that underdog feeling, but just feeling like we want to prove to people that we belong.
Mm,
If you asked our guys before the season, they would feel like I mean, a lot of them would have said this is where they believed we would be at. I know a lot of people didn't think that, but like we continue to want to prove that week in and week out. The type of team we think we are, and Township's a phenomenal team. They do a great job a sectional final last year for a reason, and that was part of the reason when I heard they wanted to scrimmage. Just we were talking to some of their coaches. I was like, yeah, definitely. Like this is what we need. Get the toughest team we can get, and right in the beginning of camp, you only get a week of practice, and
yeah,
you're seeing a great team who we know they're physical, and they're always going to have talent. So for us, it was a good chance to see them early on and know what we need to improve on, and kind of let our guys know where we're at going into the season. So
right.
I think that was a good starting point. You get a team like that, right, and 7 days into the season, you're like, all right, if you can, let's see if we can hang around here, see what we can
Yeah,
do.
roll those sleeves up. This is going to
Yeah.
be a it's going to be a
Right.
fight, but we're all
Uh-huh.
excited here in South Jersey. I'm not going to get too deep into that game or scheme or things you guys may see
Yeah.
because you guys are getting ready to play. This is more so to make sure that we give you guys your flowers while you guys are around. I didn't want to wait.
Yeah.
I
Right
was
now. Yeah.
to be honest with you, I was going to hit you up last week, but I'm like, this a big week. This is the first
Yeah.
playoffs in a long time. That focus. So for you
Mhm.
as a coach, getting mentally prepared for these games of just the preparation for these games. Each game that you guys have been playing has been a big game. So for you, how do you compartmentalize the magnitude of these games?
I would say, and the players would say this too. I mean, I love keeping the process the same, right? So, we're gonna do the same things in practice. We're gonna, in terms of like, periods and being physical, or like the way I'm gonna prepare. And we'll always have our coaches meeting on Sunday nights, right? So all those things really stayed the same.
Hmm.
And we've told our guys, we've been saying for a while, you're playing playoff games because we would look at the rankings and we'd see where we are in the rankings, just being realistic. And we were like, if we lose, we don't even know if we're going to get in, right? We could be, one loss, we might not get in the playoffs. So we knew really we had to win, and we've kind of had that mentality for a couple weeks now. I mean, like you said, you could call every game really a
Hmm.
playoff game because this might have been the only way we were getting in is if we went undefeated, just based on how the rankings were going. So we've tried to get them in that mindset, and obviously this is the toughest opponent we've had yet. But just continue to prepare as much as we can, get ready for Friday night.
And that's all you can do. To be honest
Right.
with you, you could put a little bit of a seasoning on it, make it sound a little bit better, but you can only do what you can do, and the preparation of that, you guys have been doing a great job all season, getting prepared for that. And I just want to ask you, your time at
Mm-hmm.
Westchester, like,
Yeah.
as a not many kids get to be a college athlete. So,
Mm-hmm.
getting to that point where you were able to play at Westchester, um, how does that help you with some of the kids and their projection of where they want to be? Because Chris Baker had he wrote a question in a little earlier, so it's a little bit off of that. But
Mm-hmm.
how do you prepare the kids? Because everybody they're on social media. Everybody wants to go D1. That's the big thing.
You're right.
How do you kind of talk to them about the next step in the process of going to college?
Yeah. Really, the biggest thing is obviously every coach is going to say, right? Grades. We try to talk to them early because it just opens more doors for them in terms of the good academic schools, right? If they got the grades, but it's just going to open more opportunities. And then just being realistic in them, where I think they fit, so they're not wasting their time, going to any of those camps that you show up and they put you in a different color jersey, and that just means they're not looking at you, right? So
Right.
trying to get our guys showing up to places where coaches are interested, or if coaches are reaching out, give them the time because you never know, if they're going to switch schools or um, you're going to be in a chance, you're looking to go somewhere else. So just keeping them connections open with all the coaches. Um, with our senior class, we have a handful of guys that Jackson Bowman, our tight end's already committed to Delaware, but with his size and athleticism, which has opened those doors for him and the grades. Um, for some of those guys we already talked about, Denzel, Isaiah, one of our senior linemen, Aiden Stewart, he has a D2 offer as well. So all three of them are very similar. Just hoping to get them as many opportunities as they can and get them on visits wherever that might be. Which I know some of them are probably taking visits up this weekend to a PSAC school. So just trying to get them, in any coach's face, as much as we can, so that opportunities open up.
Listen, a lot of people sleep on PSAC, any 10. They think it's only one way that you can go. I've been seeing some really good football. The any 10 opened my eyes with my son playing at Assumption. So I've seen some guys that they were dudes, and it's just a matter of they may have developed a little late, or the area they come from may not be a big area. It's one of those things where, Division II football, especially in a PSAC, you're playing teams, Slippery Rock, you're playing Cal,
Yeah.
you're playing all those
IUP.
tough IUP.
Yeah.
Those teams are tough.
Yeah.
We look at what's the receiver from Irvin Charles that played at Penn State and he wound up going to IUP. Now he plays for the Jets. Paul Six kid. So
Yeah.
it's not just that
played
that
against him. I played
yeah
against him in high school and then I think in college too. Yeah.
yeah yep.
But then the PSAC is the talent's phenomenal. I coached in the North South All Star game last year, and just the kids on our South team, man, a lot of them were going PSAC or um, I believe it's Jaden Trace, right, from Heights, he's at Westchester now. I know we had guys going to New Haven, just tremendous football players on the South team, right? Just some of the best players in South Jersey, and they're playing in the PSAC, this year. One of our DNs last year was at Millersville, who was a heck of a player. So, the talent is tremendous.
And I think what makes it more is the fact that the transfer portal kind of hurts a little bit of the recruiting. Before you used to get 29 kids coming in one class, freshmen. So they're not bringing in 29 freshmen. They may only bring in 5 or 6 after they get what they want out of the portal. So that's what pushes that really good talent down to the Division II level. But we had another question come in. I'm gonna go ahead and publish it. This is from Jason Handy. When it comes to buying into what is being taught, what mindset was used to change the culture?
Yeah. So just overall in general, I came in with like we'll say core values like coaches do, which I always put online like FACTS, which stands for 5 different things. F for family, and then some other things after that. And then hard work pays off was like a motto. So those were things we had the last 2 years, but this year I want to honestly give credit to Coach Watson at Mainland. Down at the Glazier Clinic, I'd seen them do Mindset Monday, and then I actually ended up rooming with Chuck Smith, Mainland's head coach, at the All-Star game. One of the guys I roomed with. So, like, from those two,
Hold on one
yeah.
second. Did you let him get some sleep? Because I would have been asking a ton of questions.
I know, yeah. I wasn't trying to bother him too much, man. After the year they had last year.
Right. I would listen. I need to tap into that.
We'll talk football all night. You know that.
Right.
But just some of the stuff they did with mindsets, so we really focused on it this year. Maybe that's been part of the difference, but we focus on mindsets every week and do like a mindset Monday. So we focus on that every week. We talk about those things, and I think it's for our guys, just gets them focused on what our goals are, whether it's that motivation stuff that people are putting online, and saying East isn't any good or they haven't beat anybody. Those are things we talk about at least once a week, which I think gets everybody on the same page for what we're trying to do.
Right. And I'm looking into that as well because a lot of times with the kids, the younger kids, we forget that they go home and they have things that they have to deal with at home. So and then when they come back to school, they're dealing with school. They got the girlfriends, they got social media, they got so many different distractions. When they get on the field, we just think they're supposed to automatically, be able to shut that off. So having those times where you guys can talk to them, give them motivation, and redirect what you guys are really trying to do is it. That sounds like a no brainer to me. That's pretty. That's
Right.
pretty good. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's something, a lot of coaches are doing it, but I know it used to be, the weight room, but I think we've all kind of figured that, a lot of schools have figured that out, how important it is to lift in season, out of season. Now I think it's, that's part of it, finding ways to get everyone on the same page mentally and get them locked in.
For sure. So, Coach, I know moving forward, your some of your goals are to keep advancing week in, week out. Um, I have so many questions that I want to ask, but they're kind of like they may kind of give up a little of the sauce. So I'm not going to ask any of those questions. But you know, what would you say? Or what do you want to say to some of the fans and some of the people that have been supporting you guys through this process, and your support system?
I would say first thing, I mean, just myself, my family, my wife. I mean, obviously the sacrifices my wife, all our coaches' wives and families make is tremendous. And coach, after we win, the coaches we like to grab dinner, go out, and we try to get any. My wife will come sometimes, but
Mhm.
it's busy, man. There's never enough time in the day to be home. So just the support they all give us, and then the school support has been completely different this year because of really playing on Friday nights instead of Saturdays. Getting the whole school out, getting people to talk about football. Obviously, winning helps. We know that, but it's it's been definitely a difference, a noticeable difference in the school and the whole community with
Mm.
playing on Friday nights and having a student section and having people want to come out and support because we have great fans. We have kids who love sports at Cherry Hill East. If anyone's been to a playoff basketball game at Cherry Hill East, you've seen the countrymen, you've seen the crowd. So they want to root and they want to be there. So it's made a big difference. And I'm an alum of East, so I hear from the alum, a good amount, and
Hmm.
they're all obviously they're loving this. And I've heard from guys from the 80s and the 90s, and the last times we won a playoff game.
Yeah,
But just motivation, for our guys to continue to make people proud, but continue to represent Cherry Hill East as a football school.
yeah. He's my brother-in-law's nephew, so he's like my nephew. I've been around him for a while. Is Carl Gibson? He played basketball at Cherry Hill East. Was a phenomenal football player, but just chose he didn't choose to play. And I think
Mm-hmm.
what you just spoke to is that Friday night atmosphere, that having the kids there at the school so they can hang around school or just be around.
Mm-hmm.
That's a key. How big, like you spoke about it, but has that
Mm-hmm.
really helped? Has that really been a game changer for your program?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be kind of stupid to say it wasn't. Like, it's just it's such a big difference, and it just makes the kids so much, prouder and motivated, and then people are talking about us. So they feel like they're getting noticed because, I think the last 2 years we had a pretty good team, and that we weren't able to, make the playoffs or do those things, but nobody was really talking about it even around school because I mean it's tough. I mean, I'm not going to blame the high school kids. It's tough to get out to 11 o'clock game on a Saturday.
That's a fact.
Um, so you
Hmm.
don't even really know how good your classmates might be, or you know, yeah. But now everyone's coming out and they kind of see us on the field, and it's been awesome. So it definitely makes a difference playing on Friday nights.
For sure. All right, coach. I'm not going to hold you up any longer. There's no more questions that are funneling in. I want to say congratulations on your season. You guys have done a phenomenal job flipping the
Mm-hmm.
culture there at Cherry Hill East. Currently 9-0. I can't remember the last time East was 9-0, but
It's
you guys are
1988,
there.
long time. 88. Yeah.
So you guys are right there. Good luck on your game this week. Is there anything you want to say on your way out?
I appreciate the opportunity, man. You guys are doing an awesome job. I was listening to Coach Forrest at the end beforehand, but just an awesome job, man. Getting exposure for all high school football and athletics in the area. So keep doing it, and looking. I know we're looking forward to an awesome game. Friday night. There's a great opponent, so we're looking
Yeah,
forward to it.
I can't wait. But
Yeah.
listen, keep that cannon from going off. You
Yeah.
guys are good. Keep that cannon from going off. But yeah, Coach, congratulations once again. Best of luck this weekend. Tell your guys on the team, phenomenal job, players and coaches. Keep it going. And if I don't get to see you, just know that we rooting for you guys. And anything you need from us, just let us know.
No, I appreciate it. Yep, and thank you for the opportunity, man. But I'll keep following along with everything you guys are doing.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Coach. Thanks for tapping in.
All right, I'll see you, Rod.
All right.
Welcome.
All right, that was Coach Tyler Drob, man. Man, that was two good guests. The only thing about doing these interviews, sometimes I want to go deep into football things, right? I want to ask them questions about, schemes and certain things. So I have to catch myself because sometimes I feel like I'm just having a conversation with one of my friends. So I'm just trying to talk to them and get a little insight on the game that they're about to play. So I had to catch myself. I apologize. It might seem like I didn't know what was going on, but I caught it. I made sure I caught myself. I don't want him to give away anything here on live, or any fuel to throw it out there. But one thing I'll definitely say is it's a lot of young coaches who are doing an amazing job with their programs. I think having that fresh new energy in, they're not too far removed from college. They understand what the young kids want. They understand what they're looking for, so they're able to apply it to their program, and they're having, you know, the success that we couldn't imagine. Like, I'm being honest. When we used to look at teams like Cherry Hill East, when they were on the schedule, we knew it was a win. All right, we got to win there. We got to win. But now they have changed the program to where you can't just say that's a win. You look at Oakcrest. I had some guys asking me, "Where's Oakcrest? I've never heard of that school. How old is that school?" So when you start winning, you start bringing your program up to a light to where some people never knew you really existed, right? So these coaches are doing a phenomenal job. That's why I wanted to make sure I had both of them on at the same time, because they're walking, they're walking that walk. It's kind of similar. They kind of came in, similar times. They've had their programs in similar spaces, and they both have built them in a way that they're now looked at as a football program, which is really, really, really huge, man. So, congratulations to both of those guys, Coach Forrest and Coach Drob. Much respect. Thank you guys for coming on. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Share this out. Let people hear this message. I had a good time, man. I had an awesome time. I got to get more time, man. I don't know. I'll be trying to, I try to condense it within an hour, but some of these coaches, are really good guys, and it's really good having a conversation with them. So I got to figure that out. I got to think what I'm going to do. But yeah, make sure you guys come back in next Tuesday, 8 o'clock. We'll be right here. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. We got some stuff coming up. Roll Cougars. Okay. We got another one coming in. Hold on 1 second. Let me adjust this. How we going to do this? Where I'm going to put this? Hold on 1 second. I thank you guys for, being patient as well as I get things set up. This new system kind of dope. I kind of like it. But Chris Baker, youth coaching movement in South Jersey is refreshing. Yes, yeah, old guard still being around helps bring balance. The two youngest coaches in South Jersey are both in the Cal. Yeah, and Chris, that balance is really good because I like he brought up Coach Chuck Smith, and I'm like, did you let him sleep? I wouldn't have let Coach Chuck sleep. I would have been over there trying to tap his phone. I would have been trying to take some of his water, put it in a vial. Whatever he doing, I'm doing. I'm following the success that he is having. I'm making sure that that's me. I need parts. I need to win too. I'm trying to win a championship. Listen, these coaches nowadays, it's different. It's a little bit harder. It's a little different. Back in the day, you were able to, have your success in peace. You didn't have your kids going on social media and, like Coach said, seeing all the clickbait stuff. Cherry Hill ain't played nobody. This team ain't that. This kid ain't that good. They don't, back in the day, they didn't get to see that, So it's a different way of coaching. Kids like flashy uniforms. They want to be on social media. They want, people to come out, video them. They want the pictures. They want everything. They want it all. So it's a little bit harder in terms of the mental aspect of the game coaching right now than, back in the day with the VHS tapes being exchanged in a mall parking lot, those things. So, yeah, man, it was great to have those guys on. Feel good about tonight. Also, make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. We have the South Jersey Football Frenzy Show with Mark Tribb and Coach Tim McEnany. We will be streaming live right here on D2 Sports Network YouTube. And if you want to watch it on Facebook, you could watch it on Facebook at Glory Days Magazine. All right, Glory Days Magazine. You could watch it on there as well. But I'm going to get out of here, man. Listen, the last thing I'm going to say, I know that the elections are here, but people, can you please relax? Listen, it's important. Everybody got out to vote. Let's not fight and do all of that nonsense. I don't care who you vote for. That's your choice. It don't matter if you take the red pill or the blue pill. You know what I'm saying? At some point, we all still get sick. So we all still get a little sick. So let's not get carried away. Neither side is going to change everything in the world and to help or benefit us. And they are all not going to make the right decisions. Kind of like being a parent, right? Kind of same thing, but got to relax. Too much of this stuff going on social media. People are taking things way too far. Let's just bring it back down. And at the end of the day, we got to remember we're all a community of one. We all can do things to help and benefit each other, man. So with that, I'm out of here, man. Y'all enjoy y'all night. Get some sleep. Hope to see y'all on the other side.